The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. 7 contestants survive in the Finnish wilderness of the Arctic Circle. They will face the coldest challenge here. The lowest temperature is -20 degrees. They must rely on their own survival skills to get food in this cold place. First contestant, Klaus. He is an experienced hunter. Just come here. I feel very satisfied to see where I am. Suddenly his eyes filled with tears. 3 months ago, Klaus' father just died. His father taught him many things. This time to participate in wilderness alone. It was all about finding a quiet place to calm down. I didn't expect to remember hunting with my father as soon as I got here. A tough guy suddenly cried into a bitch. The second player, Ulrich. He felt very excited when he first came here. This wilderness solitude he had been looking forward to for a long time. Ulrich carried a hunting bow. He's been using this bow for years. He hopes to feed himself with this bow and arrow. This time the rules of living alone in the wilderness change. Each player receives an identical kit. In addition, each player can bring 3 pieces of their own equipment. The drill and the binoculars are here. And Ulrich brought his own special bow and arrow. This arrow doesn't look easy at first glance. Look at him smiling so happily. He must have been eager to get started. The third contestant, Annie, a beautiful 33-year-old girl. She was used to the Nordic climate. Normal fishing skills. It made her feel confident about this survival challenge and believed in her ability to win. Just arrived at the destination and explored her surroundings. She built shelter on the shore as soon as she could. This girl doesn't look like a trophy. Should be a good player. The fourth player, Soren. He's very good at surviving in the wild. I am looking forward to this survival challenge. Once we land, we start exploring the neighborhood. I can't help laughing at the rocks here, because he already planned how the shelter would be built. There are more trees around. By this time, he could not keep down his excitement. Soren is a blacksmith. He is very good at making all kinds of tools. This also means that he has strong hands-on ability. He began to collect wood as soon as he came here. We're gonna set up a cabin shelter here. The fifth contestant, Bettina. It's a 37-year-old girl, even with a pockmarked face. If you're not married and have a baby, you're a girl. Bettina's survival skill is fishing. She wants to catch a lot of fish here. I'm telling you, Bettina, you want to fish? You can. If you want to catch those licking dogs in my comments section, I'll be the first to disagree. It's been in the ground less than a minute. God damn it. She started crying. This is boys and girls. If you want to cry, go home and cry before the show is gone. Bettina soon got into the mood. She saw the water holes in the lake very well. I realized there were a lot of fish in the area. I was instantly excited because fishing is her forte. The sixth player, Anders. He saw his destination ahead. I think I'm in a very good position. The grassland is flat and the trees are abundant. It's a good place for feng shui. Anders is a wilderness enthusiast. Usually like to shoot video fake post on the internet. I learned a lot from making videos myself. When we land, we start looking for shelter. The rocks here provide him with a natural shelter. Anders decided to build a shelter here. It's just big enough for one person. In the short term, it's okay, but it's certainly not for long-term survival. Klaus has already made it happen. I also found some chanterelles nearby. Well, the first meal of the opening is a safe bet. Bettina set up the tent. She took out her fishing rod and set it up. Looks like the fishing girls got enough of it. Look out for this bitch in the comments section, especially the licking dogs. Young women are also very good at catching dogs. It's been a tough season for the players. We're just starting to get food. Bettina has a lot of fishing experience. I usually take suburban fishing when I have time at home. Although Bettina is very good at fishing, but this is the Arctic Circle. Winter is definitely Bettina's bane. Annie's gonna start fishing here, too. It seems that this season's contestants are using fishing as their primary source of protein. Less than a minute, Annie just caught a pike. This fish is very big. It should weigh a few pounds. When handling fish, bitten on the finger by a fish, she was very worried about getting infected. But to catch a fish this big, that's not a big deal. Okay, this fish is enough for and to feed herself twice. I didn't expect to hunt on the first day. These players are so strong. Anders cut a piece of wood, scrape out some sawdust with a knife. The half-timer succeeded in lighting the fire, but soon the fire went out. When he thought about making the original glue at home, using resin collected in the wild, heated into a gel. The glue produced is very strong. He's going to look for someone with resin in it. There are many pine trees nearby. The fire was successfully lit with resin. The seventh contestant, Matt. We have another granny contestant this season. Matt is an old hunter. She is good at using a bow and arrow. Although the old lady looks very kind, but I believe she is definitely a strong player. All 7 players have appeared this season. Matt found some berries on the ground. It's probably the easiest food she can get, but these berries will soon be gone, because this is the northern wilderness of Finland. Lapland is the northernmost part of Finland, north of the Arctic Circle. The winters here are brutal. It's the end of the storm. The players face a brutal winter ahead, so shelter is their most important form of warmth. Sauron plans to build a tent shelter against the rocks. The show crew provided them with tarpaulins. The material is commonly used in waterproofing devices on trucks, but tarpaulins are not suitable for field use. It is a material that breaks easily. He is used to using wool canvas as a field tent, but these are the conditions. He had to use it. After laying the tarp, take out the wool mat. He didn't bring a sleeping bag, just these wool mats to keep you warm. Oh my god, is this season that challenging? So far all the players have set up tents, and a fire was made, but I don't think anyone brought a sleeping bag. Is that all they need to survive the winter? Matt picked a lot of berries. Just a pot of berry soup for dinner tonight. Time to the next day. Bettina woke up early in the morning, didn't sleep well last night, and woke up early, too. She cooked a pot of fish for breakfast. She spotted a bird nearby. They're eating the fish heads left over from yesterday. Why don't gringos use fish heads in their soup? Soren got up and explored the neighborhood. He found there was a lot of deadwood, but there are too many rocks around to catch fish. Sauron tied a rope around the stone. Test if casting the net in this way is effective. He was quite pleased with the result. Klaus woke up one morning and wanted to go fishing, but found that there are many antelopes on the other side. But that didn't stop him from fishing. It soon paid off, although it is a small fish. But this fish is very tasty. Anders' plan today is to build a shelter. Took a lap around the neighborhood. Not much wood, but they're all bigger. It's hard to cut down a tree, but it has to be done for the shelter. Bettina's priority is the shelter, too. She wants to build a cabin shelter. Then there's the race against winter. I hope you can build it. Yurik has already set up his tent. There's a lot of room in the tent, but this is only the first step. He has more to do. Yurik spread the fur on the ground. How does he sleep? We've already started building shelter cabins on Anders' side. He collected a lot of wood, besides him, and Meta started work on it. All of a sudden, all the players start building shelters. How are their schedules consistent? Anders was building the shelter. There were a lot of accidents. He wants to build a trapezoidal shelter. One shelf tortured him to death, failed repeatedly to frame the shelter. Anders was tortured without a temper. He wasted a lot of energy building the shelter. And Bettina is moving wood. She cut the wood to save time. Go to the shore and pick up those wet logs. Tired, she leaned over the stone and gasped loudly. Use gloomy wood to build shelters. Girl, can you take it? The latest one is Klaus. He's already built a conical shelter. Anders eventually built the shelving for the shelter, but just when he tried to move it again, the wooden frame fell down again. Anders failed 1,000 times today. Sure enough, I usually shoot video to survive. There's a difference between surviving and surviving. After Matt finished the tent, she's going fishing for dinner tonight. Just put the hook and the fish was on. The woman's excited hand trembled. The fish finally broke free. Bettina's fishing here, too. Too bad the hooks are all ripped off. After a busy day at work, the players began to fish. Fortunately, there are more fish in this area. They have no trouble catching fish. And these fish are pretty big. You catch one fish, and you get 2 meals. Only day 2. The players caught a lot of pike. These fish are very large. Klaus caught a big fish of 10 pounds. It made him very excited. The fish will feed him for a week. I can't believe Bettina brought a net. First time I've ever seen a player with a net. One of the 3 things Bettina brought was a fish cage. It was probably the smartest thing she could do. You can keep the fish in the net if you can't finish it. Much more practical than making dried smoked fish. I can't believe a contestant would do that. Participating in solitary fish farming in the wilderness. Klaus caught the biggest fish today. There is no doubt that he's the winner today. Everyone else is fishing, and here Sauron sits waiting to die. Klaus cooked the morning fish for dinner. A small fish is enough for his meal. Have a busy day. The winner gets dinner. Those who don't get anything can only yawn. It began to rain in the open sky. Matt's shelter is flooding, but I don't care about that anymore. Wake up and deal with it tomorrow. Time came to the 3rd day. It rained lightly last night. Klaus gets up early to perfect the shelter's doorway. With a tent tied to a stick, I made a door, and Anders woke up. The rain last night also had some effect on him. He plans to continue perfecting the shelter today. Judge the direction of last night's rain and wind. The plan is to build a fireplace in the shelter. Build the fireplace with the wind. It can effectively vent the smoke. Anders collects stones from the neighborhood. The plan is to use the stones to build a fireplace. Pile up stones and moss to make a stone fireplace. Anders lit a fire in the fireplace, but there was a lot of smoke. He's not very happy with the fireplace. There's enough smoke to mummify it, but there's no way to build another one today. He's having a hard time keeping the fireplace. Yurik got up in the morning and made a cup of berry tea. I'll have to drink water for breakfast if I'm not fishing. A crow appeared nearby. He mimics the crow's call to attract it. but he didn't carry a gun, so there's no hunting. Soren plans to build a shelter today. He cut down a tree, peel and treat the trees, hang the wood from the rock. That's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy to imagine the shelter to be perfect. It's just a piece of wood. I put a lot of strain on Sauron. Bettina is also collecting wood to build a shelter. Building the shelter was a big project. She felt very tired. Bettina built a frame between the stones and the trees. This way of building should be relatively simple. Klaus found a dead log. It's hollow in the middle. He wants to use it to make a smoker. Roast the pike we caught yesterday. The pike is too big. Chop off the head of the fish with an axe. It's a waste not to eat such a big fish head. Put the rest of the fish in the bucket. Then plug one section with bark. The fire heats through the barrel. Cook the fish slowly. I didn't realize the fire had a mind of its own. It began to spread throughout the barrel. The grilled fish turned into smoked fish in an instant. Soon the wood caught fire. Good thing he got the fish out in time. It's burnt, but it's edible. Soren boiled a pot of water in the shelter. He can't fish without a fishing rod, but he brought fishing nets. Comparative fishing. Perhaps a fishing net would be more convenient for catching fish. He drew up his net but did not catch any fish. Now he has to spend time sorting out his nets. This is a common problem with fishing nets. 3 days of fishing and 2 days of drying nets is not unreasonable. Take your time. I'm sure you can. I don't have to tidy it up to support you. Anders finally decided to move the fireplace. It's not as good as it was before it was built. As soon as I built it, I realized the wind was in the opposite direction. Now it's being rebuilt on the other side of the shelter. Hey, I got my eye on you. Anders was very uncomfortable at this point, but Klaus enjoyed it. His grilled fish was burnt, but there's a lot of fish, enough to feed him. Sauron finally arranged his net. He felt that 6 meters of fishing net was too long. Sauron decided to cut the length in half. He brought the finished nets to the shore again. Let's hope we catch some fish this time. Time came to the 4th day. Bettina slept very comfortably last night. She took out a knife, take out another pair of shorts, space the panties in half. I don't know exactly what she's up to. The next moment she was running to the shore. The original was to transform the pants into a towel. Never seen me wash my face with my pants. Bettina wiped herself. I think the guys in the comments section are gonna grab this towel. Anders, he found a tree root. The roots are strong enough to make rope. Use it to bind the tent. The trapezoidal shelter didn't make it. Why don't we just make a grave? Anna got stuck on her fishing hook yesterday. Today, she went into the water to try and retrieve the fake bait, but I searched for a long time and couldn't find it. I'm really disappointed. Klaus woke up today feeling under the weather. Now he pees every 20 minutes. I feel like my heart rate is higher. He doesn't want to go home so soon. Frightened, he quickly boiled a cup of water to calm his shock. Yurik brought out his ancestral bow and arrow. I'm going to start hunting here. Both he and Meta had bows and arrows. Meta also started hunting for protein. Hunting requires more luck than fishing. Bettina's already working on the fish. It's only day 4. I've been eating fish for days. Fishing players have a better chance of winning than hunting players this season. Soon the doctor was here. Lucas isn't feeling well. There was a case of diarrhea. It's probably the grilled fish I ate yesterday. So will Lucas be the first to drop out? And then there's the danger for the players. Look forward to an update in the next video. The new season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. Winter is approaching in the Arctic Circle. The runners began to build warm shelters. Construction must be at full speed before winter really sets in. Race against time to succeed. On the morning of the 4th day, Klaus wakes up in the morning with a high heart rate, having diarrhea at the same time. When the paramedics came to check him out, decided to call the doctor and explain the situation. It scared Klaus out of his wits. He thought if he had diarrhea, he would drop out. That would be a big loss. Finally, the doctor gave him a reply. Could be a high heart rate from a hungry breakfast. Diarrhea is when you eat something bad. At least for now, nothing else. So there's no need to worry. At last, the quack advised him to eat more and keep warm and left. Soren went to check the nets early in the morning. He was very much looking forward to catching fish. When he pulled up the net, I saw a fish hanging from the net. He shouted excitedly, but this isn't a pike. He doesn't know what the hell this is. Does he? Screw it. 3728. Teach it how to be a human being. Anders is trying to get a storage shelf for the shelter. Usually can put water cup, cut a plank out of the wood. This wooden table mat costs $299 at the store, but it's not worth a damn here. He fixed the wood between the 2 trees. The tree fork can scrape things. A wooden mat on top becomes a dining table. People with ideas enjoy the world first. Bettina continues to perfect her shelter today. She fixed the shelter to a tree, then cut the top part off. This behavior is to cross the bridge and remove the board. The trees didn't expect this girl to be so hot. I was kind enough to make her a shelter pillar. I didn't think she'd turn around and think that falling trees were a danger to the shelter. That's why we need to cut the top part. Annie's fishing here. Suddenly, I saw a herd of reindeer coming to drink. This surprised her very much. But she didn't bring a bow and arrow. So all I can do is watch the fat run in front of me. Annie was drooling all over the floor. Sauron handles the fish on the shore. There's a lot of pearl-like stuff in the fish. He didn't know if it was roe or what. Soren fried the fish straight in the iron pan. He threw the meat straight into the fire. I thought he was stupid. Good thing it didn't last more than 3 seconds. After 4 days of starvation, I finally got fish. The fish is enough for him to eat. Only the cities of Meta and Yurik bring bows and arrows to hunt. Masters hunt differently. Yurik noticed some animal droppings on the ground. He guessed it was bird droppings. Yurik is a hunter. He practiced his bow and arrow at home. Hunted wild boar. Wild boars are very dangerous. When threatened, they attack humans. This wild boar is really in over his head. Yurik thinks there are big birds around. I hope I can hunt it. Meta is also waiting for his prey. She hoped to catch a fox. Both Meta and Ulrich brought binoculars. It's standard for hunters, handy for observing distant prey. Anders found a turpentine tree. He cut off a piece of wood to smell. It was the fattest wood he had ever seen. Pine trees bleed turpentine when injured. As a result, large amounts of turpentine can accumulate in nearby sawdust. Anders gave it a few random swipes with a poker. You can set the sawdust on fire. It's a great fire starter. Others fishing already eat the feast. Only Meta and Yurik hunt with bows and arrows, just waiting for the prey to show up. Time came to the 5th day. Klaus saw 2 ducks on the shore this morning. It's a nice setting. You can see all kinds of ghosts, right? Soren plans to remodel the shelter today. This temporary shelter is an uncomfortable place to live. He went to the shore to collect discarded wood, pile wood around the shelter. On the 4th day, he started building a permanent shelter, but it takes a lot of wood. Soren is a carpenter. He is very good at using wood. At least some tools can be repaired with wood. Expect him to build a beautiful wooden shelter. Matt gets up and brushes his teeth in the shelter. She never hunted for food. I always eat berry soup to satisfy my hunger. She picked up a branch nearby. Can be used to hang a kettle. The structure is just right. Bettina's got the shelter framed. Now all she has to do is hang up the tarp. You can move in. The shelter space is very large. If you want to survive the winter, the shelter still needs to be perfected. She filled the roof with branches and dig up some moss and put it on top of the wood. This will prevent the tip from poking through the tarp. Building the shelter was a big job. Anders got up and went to the shore to pull in his net. The net is half closed, but there were no fish in sight. He began to wonder if there were any fish in these waters. No fish. He doesn't know what to do next. Now he just wants to catch his fish somewhere else. When Annie got up, she also came to the shore to draw in her net. But her nets are deeper. I have to take off my pants every time. Fortunately, a pike was caught in the net. This made her excited to take off in place. The pike is very big, enough to feed her twice. And Meta can only drink water at a time. The 50-plus pairs of grandma contestants, probably confident in his hunting skills. Of course, her house is full of her hunting trophies. At home, the shelter she wanted to build looked like this. But here's the reality. Ideal is very full, reality very wanna cry. Bettina's been setting up a shelter for 5 days. She's the one who made the shelter her top priority. Make yourself look like you're high. Annie, on the other hand, is different. All she cared about was fishing. That's why we've had fish since the beginning. When you're working with fish, found a lot of small fish in the belly. This fish is bigger. Annie wants to turn it into smoked fish. But you don't need a fish head to stew. Is that a waste? In a moment, Bettina had prepared a pot of fish. I'll fuck you. When did this high fished? The fishing was never shown. Can you believe me when I say you cheat? Yurik is eating dinner, too. A grilled fish and some mushrooms. Hey, don't you go hunting. When did you catch the fish? Do it one by one. You're making this very difficult for me. Time came to the 6th day. Yurik was singing early in the morning. Today is his daughter's birthday. It looks cute, but I hope you succeed in your hunt and win the championship. The weather is not very good today. The players don't want to get up when they wake up. Bettina joked about not sleeping well last night. There are too many spiders in the jungle, and he got into his sleeping bag. No wonder the muscles have been itchy all night. When Yurik got up, he began to cook breakfast. Fried fish is delicious. I started crying while I ate, because it's his son's birthday. I really miss it. I'm speechless. These high people get fed up and miss their families. Bettina got up and started perfecting her shelter again. Today, she wants to build a bed for the shelter. Such a big piece of wood. Let's not make a bed. You can make a coffin. Anders is the one who's having the worst time. He is worried about catching fish now. The water at Anders' location is shallow, so he wants to put the net deep. A 16-meter tree was felled. Use tools to transform it. The rules have changed in the 8th season of the Danish version. All players are allowed to bring 3 items of their own. Anders brought a hand-operated drill. It's much easier to work with wood. Bringing their own tools allows them to be more creative in the field. Anders used a falcon structure to butt the wood. There is no need to use nails at all. I have to say Anders is a tool. Made it a lot easier for him to build. A piece of wood 10 meters long was fixed by him. He pulled the log to the shore, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. And Yurik's side. A tripod was set up on the shore, and there was a raft. Fuck, can these high people do tricks? At least let the building process go. It was 3 days ago. Yurik started building the raft. He used twigs to form a shape, then moved the shelves to the shore. When you put a tarp on it, it becomes a raft, and it can float successfully in the water. With this raft, I can put the net deeper. On the 5th day, he modified the raft again. The upgraded raft is quite sophisticated. Today he tried to use a raft to drag his fishing net into the depths. The buoyancy of the raft is good. When he pulled the net, the tripod fell into the water. Looks like we need to fix the tripod. Bettina cut 2 large logs over here. She used wood as a bed frame, but wood is round. It turns very easily, but it's really the easiest way. Then spread some pine branches on the bed. Fur makes a comfortable bed. Bettina felt very comfortable lying on it. Light a fire, and you can do it. Anders tries to set the net on the shore. It's too bad it's too windy out here. Sticks are very unstable in water. It took a great deal of effort to put the net in place. Looks like it needs some work. And Yurik is as upset as a kite. He's gonna remodel this lame tripod. After floating the shelf, back out into the depths and set the net. While sorting out the fishing nets, accidentally ripped through the raft. Soon it began to sink. Good thing the water wasn't very deep. Yurik kept swearing. Well, that's just bad luck opening the fucking door and getting home. It was a disaster on Anders' side, too. He's been hungry for days. No fish. Can only scrape some bark to eat. He boiled the bark into a pot, and it takes 3 hours to cook. The cooked bark needs another night to dry. Klaus came to the shore to fish with a fishing rod. His water level is relatively deep, brought plenty of bait. My guess is Klaus is the winner. It's not a problem as long as you keep catching fish. Too bad the line stuck. It seems like none of the contestants are having a good day. If he didn't catch any fish, he could only boil water and drink it. There are some fish heads hanging from the tree. Why are these high people? I'd rather be hungry than eat a fish head. Klaus is a hunter. He missed hunting with his father very much. As he said this, he began to cry again. This high guy starts crying. And now she's crying like a pussy. The time came to the 7th day, and came to the shore early in the morning to take off her pants and feed the fish. Looking at the water in front of you is very calm. She shouted for the fish to come over for breakfast.
Hello!
It took me a long time to pull a pile of feed. If you don't eat it, it's wasted. The wilderness is unusually calm today. Anders got up and drank a glass of water. He's going to check the fishing net he laid down yesterday. The stick was in good condition from the shore. He felt that the tools he had made had served a good purpose. At this moment, Anders thinks it's safe this time. Only when he pulled up the net did he find out. The fishing net was wound round the stick. Fuck you on the street. It's been a long day trying to get some air. Anders was so mad he ripped the nets off. It took a day to build this thing. No gain at all. And he ruined his fishing nets. Anders was plunged into a life of doubt. He apologized for the harsh language he had just used. Swearing is just an expression of emotion. It has nothing to do with personal qualities. How will he survive here without nets? Fish is the main source of food for the contestants. The area has pike, trout, river trout, and bass. There are many kinds, but winter is coming. Soon fishing will become more difficult. Early fishing has advantages, but it's definitely the nets that have the advantage. When Sauron woke up in the morning, he decided to make some soap. Mix charcoal ash with water to get some lye. It's even better if you add grease. He went out into the field to collect some blades of grass. The smell of these blades of grass repels mosquitoes. He uses wood to grind the blades of grass. Add to iron pan and mix. Then pour the soap into the cup. He took the soap ORS he had made to the shore. Soren's been here a long time. First shower today. He smeared soap on his body, then wash it constantly in water. After showering, return to the shelter to dry. This high guy's gonna have a good time. Bettina dug up an earthworm. She came to the shore to fish. I've been fishing with fake bait all my life. Try earthworms today. Soon a bass took the bait. Bettina caught a big bass. She was very excited. Soon the show's boat showed up here. They came to the player's position. What is this supposed to do? It's only day 7. Are we gonna have to get all of them checked out? The crew came to check on the status of the contestants and remind them that winter is coming. He checked and left. Just a few minutes of physical examination. The players look like they've been hit again. People started perfecting the shelter, or catch fish and store food. Anders here boiled the bark for hours yesterday. The bark is roasted again today. Everyone else is eating fish. Just this high guy congratulating bark. It tastes a little bit like tree strips. Chewing bark is like chewing beef jerky. Klaus just set up the net. My shoes and clothes are wet. He's standing over a fire roasting sausages. This high guy is laughing my ass off. Urik's playing around here. Go back and beat your dad if you're sick. Don't get crazy in here. I'm the wild man commentator, not a psychiatrist. Okay? Bettina has moved into a new shelter. The fire was burning at the door. The smoke blew into the shelter. Bettina was overcome with tears. She's got legs. It's really gonna kill her. The time came to the 8th day. The weather is getting colder. Anders is planning to remodel his shelter today. Make the shelter shorter and warmer. Then cover the roof with moss. This increases the warmth of the shelter. He's got legs. Did this high guy build a grave? It looks pretty harmonious from the front. Sauron cooked some bark and ate it in the shelter. It tastes like a snack. It's only been a week. The contestants began to eat the bark. What about the back end? Sauron whittled wood nails from branches. It's for permanent use in the shelter. Soren also brought a wooden drill. He drilled holes into the shelter wood with a drill tool, then knocked the wood down to secure it. This season's players are average hunters, but the shelter built must be better. He collected more moss. Spread moss on the roof. Did he want to use moss to keep out the rain? No tarps at all are a bad idea. Sauron's shelter uses a lot of wood. Let's hope he builds the cabin of his heart. Klaus is cleaning up the shelter, too. He's going to build a bed in it. Use twigs to frame the bed. It looks a lot more elaborate than Bettina's. He spread the stick on the wood. This little bed looks comfortable, but the effect is a peaceful sleep. A new shelter has been set up on Annie's side. Cover the trapezoidal frame with a tarp. It looks simple. It wasn't hard at all. Inside soon finished building a second shelter. She also moved from the cottage to the big house today. There's a lot of room in the shelter, and there are still 2 small saplings. These high people have weird ideas. Bettina's here remodeling her fireplace. Almost died in the same spot last night, but after the makeover, the same is smoked crying. Every now and then you lift up the tarp to breathe. For a moment she didn't know what to do. Anders with the shelter ready to go fishing. Now he's pinning his hopes on fishing. But after hours and nothing, is today another day of no harvest. Klaus came to the shore to pull in his net. When he pulled up the net, I saw a fish hanging from it. 2 fish were harvested today. Anders just sat in the shelter starving. Klaus ate it at the shelter. This is really a drought. A flood. Why are people so different from each other? The time came to the 9th day. The weather is very fine today, but the temperature has also dropped a lot. All the players woke up feeling cold. Bettina wore long johns too. Time is running out for the players to perfect the shelter. Anders was drinking water. I noticed that last night's quilt had begun to freeze. That means the temperature has dropped a lot. Soren's a fucking genius. Building a shelter accidentally created a public toilet. There's something wrong with the high guy aesthetic. He got a lot of moss and spread it on the roof. The moss house was built in no time. Anders got a giant candle. Is this burning incense at the grave? It turned out to be a miniature stove. It's handy for boiling water. Anders' skills may not be in hunting, but the result is still pretty. He loves the environment here. Get up every day, and then work. Sleep on a full stomach. The way here is simple. Hey, don't think about it. Please go catch a fish and eat it. Bettina's warming up in the shelter. It's really cold today. You can tell by the way she's breathing. It's probably only a few degrees right now. The players are starting to get into it, starting to get used to it. But there are also players who can't find their way around here. The next thing you know, the showboat is here again. It turns out Anders is dropping out. This surprised me very much. He just finished the shelter today. Why do you just give up? Although he didn't have much luck fishing, but there's still a hook here. Not so quick to drop out. Anders did have bad luck. The shelter has failed thousands of times since it started. Plus there's been no fish. Maybe he's really hungry. Drinking water all the time isn't the answer. Only the 2nd episode. The contestants made it through 8 days. There are 6 players left in the field. They still have a lot of enthusiasm. Bettina went fishing on the shore after Emo. Sauron still builds his own little toilet. Urik saw the wild duck, with a bow and arrow in pursuit of his prey. Well, we'll see what surprises the contestants will bring in the next episode. Look forward to an update in the next video. The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. How hard it is to survive in the Arctic wilderness. The players boil the bark in strips every day, or you can bake it before you eat it. There are also contestants who cook and eat the roots. What does solitude in the wilderness do to the contestants? Is it really so hard to survive at the top of the Arctic Circle? The time came to the 9th day. Bettina woke up in the morning feeling very cold. I saw the raindrops on the tent turn to ice. Grandma's hands are freezing. Make a fire to keep warm. Everyone felt the temperature drop a lot. It's probably close to 0. Bettina's fireplace was wet from the rain. Her shelter was piled high with firewood, an unwashed iron pan. Although the space is large, but it's full of stuff from the players. In the shelter, Bettina saw birds feeding ahead of her. She enjoyed watching the birds eat. If it was Matt, the bow and arrow would have been out to kill them. Bettina put the piece of fish on her head. Try to attract birds in this way. I sometimes have a hard time understanding the behavior of the contestants, and yet no bird came to eat my ass. Eventually, I had to give up the idea. Now this stage is still the pre-construction stage. Every player still has to prepare for winter, collect a lot of wood every day. It's their hardest work. The shelter didn't do a good job keeping you warm. We'll lose in the winter. Soren got up and washed his face. He figured one thing out. Do you want to stay here? That must depend on warm shelter. It was supposed to be a tall shelter, but it's not physically possible. Don't be forced to make a public toilet shelter against a rock. Annie's enjoying herself the most right now. She also has 2 smoked fish. Eat a little every day. We have 2 more days to eat. Meta now has a fish and some berries. Yesterday, she heard something growling. Closer inspection revealed that it was a rumbling stomach. Klaus went fishing with a hook, but stood all morning. None of the fish took the bait. Have to give up. Yurik is building a shelter. He's trying to tie down the top notch. Avoid rain wetting the shelter environment. Yurik built a little roof over the shelter, breathes and keeps out the rain. After the roof is built, and cut off the extra tarp, the cut is also burned with charcoal. This prevents the edges from cracking. Cut the tarp to make the door. There's a lot of space in the shelter. There's a lot of wood next to the shelter. Chop and burn some when you can. Annie's been cleaning up the shelter while she's been fed. She wants to cover the shelter with moss. You throw moss up and then you drop it. Girl, if you have to. You can start at the bottom. Not very smart by the looks of it. Bina's not even ready for dinner. I was just thinking about the championship. She figured if she stayed here long enough, she'd have a chance to win. Weigh-in is only on day 9. It's so early to get home. The time came to the 10th day. Matt used charcoal makeup early in the morning. She's getting ready to go hunting. Out there with a bow and arrow looking for prey. She expected to hunt a bird. After standing for a moment, feel a little dizzy. Granny's a little worried about the racer hunt. Grandma almost fainted on the grass. She suspects low blood sugar may be the cause. Scared she felt back in the shelter. Or the dead show won't find us. Soren came to the shore early in the morning to fish. He's in dire need of protein. I caught a fish in less than 2 minutes. This is really lucky. This fish is small in size, but it's enough to feed him for the day. Soren put the fish on a stick. Bettina was whittling at the shelter. It's only day 10. It's a waste of time to do this so soon. She has a boyfriend. Before the game, boyfriend says he'll move in with her when she wins. Now she makes all the effort. The whole point is to have sex with your boyfriend. Now is the time not to go fishing. It's not a perfect shelter. I think your chances of winning are very low. Wasted hours. Finally got a sign carved. Soren is already enjoying his feast. He took the roe off. Fry on the iron pan. Fish roe is very nutritious. It's a rare delicacy for a survivor. Just a few bites of roe. It's his lunch today. The rest of the fish is smoked and preserved. Matt can't hunt for food, only to the shore to pick some roots to eat. These roots can add some sugar and carbohydrates. It'll help with her hypoglycemia. Meta cut the roots and boiled them in an iron pan. Good players are eating fish. Weak players eat grass roots every day. Bettina is fishing on the shore. A bird came and ate her fish. Fortunately, there are already fish on the hook. This is the same fish Soren caught, about the same size. When Bettina caught the fish, found a bird stealing fish. She came and sat on the stone again. The bird kept eating the fish behind it. Bettina felt happy watching the bird eat the fish. It's like she's feeding. Meta was hungry enough to eat grass. Bettina, on the other hand, has extra fish to feed the birds. This is really a drought, a flood. Soren was resting after eating. His shelter is a mess. The environment inside is also very narrow. The fire was near the rocks. Gets really warm at night. The smoke can escape through the gap very well. The wood hanging from it has been smoked into sausage. He removed the wood from the shelter. As a carpenter, he didn't want to build this shelter. Picked up a crooked piece of wood. It's a woodworker's favorite look. I found a fish hook hanging from my coat while I was working. Soren went nearby to collect moss. Cover the shelter with moss. Keeps you warm and rain better. The deadwood hut has also become a moss hut. Klaus is tidying up the nets. The most afraid of catching fish with a fishing net is the wind and waves. It takes a day to tidy up the nets every time the nets are pulled in. It's a test of patience. It's good to catch a fish. If you can't catch a fish, you waste time. Klaus might as well just cut it off. Annie's gonna clean up the shelter. She wants to build a stone fireplace in front of the door. With a small bag, came to the shore to collect rocks. I thought she'd build a big fireplace. I didn't realize it was just a fire pit surrounded by rocks. With this little fire pit, I feel a lot warmer in the shelter. Klaus came to the shore. He was ready to cast his net in the water again. Come to the opposite side and pull the rope. I can't believe I pulled the wooden frame in my hip again. Every time you put the net down, it falls down. Klaus would really thank you. It's a hassle just to get a meal. Wet your clothes every time. Bettina's been staying at the shelter. and Meta's finally about to eat dinner. I haven't eaten the roots I cooked during the day. She cooked it for a long time, thought you could boil the roots. But the boiled water tastes good. Hurry up and eat, Grandma. Soren is already enjoying his fish feast. Everybody bring a hook. Why doesn't Grandma go fishing? You deserve to starve yourself. Annie's lighting a fire in the shelter. The smoke from the fire is very good. Accidentally melted the skeleton of the camera. I guess starting a fire in a shelter is pretty dangerous after all. Time came to the 11th day. Bettina woke up in the morning feeling very cold. She was going out to take a shit, but it was too cold to go outside. Yurik is already out hunting. I'm peeing in here, and afraid to pee and alert the prey. And Soren gets up in the morning and poops. Picked a lot of mushrooms. Meta has now decided to cut back on exercise. Are we ready to rot now? Grandma, you are participating in the wilderness alone. It's not about stripping off and surviving for 21 days. If you choose to suck, I'll put you on a blacklist. I can't live in the wilderness for the rest of my life. She burned some bark and wood ash, put it in an iron pan and cook, and I made a cup of barkwood ash coffee. This coffee is her breakfast for the day. After that, we'll be out hunting. The trees here are very sparse. Both Meta and Yurik hunt with bows and arrows. But being here for so long, no hunt for food. Every hunt was a bust. Might as well go fishing like Soren. Since you can't hunt protein, I just grab some berries and eat them. These berries are the easiest food for them to find. Klaus checks the nets every day. Today he harvested a fish. This fish doesn't come easy. He decided to pick some mushrooms for cooking. The one I enjoyed the most was Sauron. Mushrooms grow out of shit. Now they're picking it and eating it. He realized the energy cycle. Sauron plans to expand his sanctuary. Many trees have been cut down. Could be medical. I feel tired every time I move wood. This piece of wood almost killed him. The wood looks small. It is very laborious to carry. Soren wanted to build the perfect cabin shelter. Yurik was full of berries. Fruitless hunt. Berries eat and go back to the shelter to sleep. I don't go fishing when I have time to sleep. Considering the briefing will affect the shelter, Yurik cut through some of the falling trees. Keep the wind from falling on the shelter. Cutting down trees is also dangerous. Yurik was almost killed by a tree branch. It's very cold outside. Bettina won't even leave the shelter, just trying to stay warm under the covers. Soren got hungry after a few logs. He's going to the shore to fish and eat. He tried many ways to catch fish here, but it's not ideal. Yurik will also take in the net, caught a fish, but unfortunately the raft started leaking. It took him time to fix it again. Have no food to hunt. Now all hopes are pinned on catching fish. Klaus was grilling fish in the middle of the day. At least now he'll have fish to eat. Soren can't catch any fish today. Now he feels lost. Time came to day 12. Fell asleep in the morning. The condition is not very good. And brushed her teeth on the rock. Yurik's iron pan is starting to freeze. You can imagine how cold it was. Rats found in Meta's shelter. Isn't that a death wish? Eat at the poorest player's house and risk your life. Matt was reasoning with a mouse with a toothbrush. She wished the mice would go elsewhere to find food. Meta still eats grass roots today. Grandma, I'm begging you. Go catch a fish. If that's what it is. Don't sign up in the first place. Bettina woke up and said hello. Back in the sleeping bag. It wasn't until noon that Bettina got up. Every time I come out, I poop and pee. As far as the players are concerned, hardly any fighting spirit. It's not like they're very good at building. The most important thing is not to live. It's nice to have a show. One by one like a dead fish, rotten shrimp. You get paid $1,000 a week. The next thing you know, the showboat shows up again. What kind of high guy is quitting? It's only been 12 days. It's not even winter yet. I couldn't figure out for a second which high guy was dropping out of the race. It was Bettina the bitch. Once the shelter is set up, just keep lying there. I don't go fishing. I think about having sex with my boyfriend every day anyway. Didn't you say you were a good fisherman at the beginning? I go fishing every day. Why can't you catch any fish now? Been starving here for days. Now I'm dying to get back to eating fried chicken burgers. Bettina was also the only one who didn't miss her family. Just being lazy around here. You want to go back and eat good food. I suggest the players be fined hundreds of thousands. I thought I was really here to experience life. There are 5 players left on the court. Matt finally went out fishing with a fishing rod. Just a few minutes. Caught one fish. The size of the fish is small, but enough to make this woman happy for a day. Hungry for so long. I can finally eat a protein meal. And Yurik's side is still crumbling. My wife turned to fishing. You're still eating berries every day. My mouth is fucking black. Now he is very hungry. There are fish not to catch. Chose to hang some bark and eat it. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand how the contestants behave. Sauron's been expanding his shelter. It's a little slow though, but as a woodworker, he also scraped a lot of bark to boil. Matt grilled the fish on a stick, even though it's all black out. But this is rare food every day. She still eats very well. Eat the entire periodic table in one bite. Grandma eats very well at home. I often eat salmon sashimi. And oysters are also eaten raw. She's a fine, rich woman who enjoys life. It's all on pension, actually. There are older brothers like this old baby can go to contact. This grilled fish is very delicious today. Grandma can't stop eating. A grilled fish restored all her strength. Klaus is cleaning up the shelter. He wants to build a fire pit for the shelter. Surround the stones. Then make a fire inside. A little smoke, though. But the fire was really warm in the shelter. Boiling water is also much easier. Yurik's starting to cook lunch, too. He boiled the bark in an iron pan. Just think of it as noodles. You can cook it for a few hours. Soren, take the boiled bark out to dry. I don't know why I have to dry it. While drying, he started perfecting the shelter again. It's not a big place, though. But the work is not huge. With the wood frame in place, put the moss on it and you're done. I'm hungry again after work. Let's go eat some bark. The bark on Yurik's side is cooked, too. He sat on the ground with the bark in his hand. Really eat bark like noodles. It would be better with some soy sauce. Ulrich saw the fish moving in the water. He guessed it was time to serve fish. When he lifted the fishing rod, he actually caught a fish. But they're all small. It's nice to have fish. He was just chewing on the bark. Now there's protein. There are lots of leeches on the fish. It's probably infected with a parasite, but it can't be wasted. Annie's in a mess too. She kept the shelter pretty clean. The window is the fire. A fire can exhaust smoke. But such shelters are no protection against the Arctic winter. So she still needs to improve the shelter. She began to cut down the wood.
Annie was bald.
Gaga chopped tons of wood in one sitting. It made her tired shoulders sore. But young is good. It's not like Soren gets tired hauling a log. The shelter got a lot of upgrades today. Is this girl that good at her job? Soren came to the shore to check the nets. Not much to gain by lifting the net. If you don't catch a fish, you'll have to eat the bark. Yurik roasted the bark. Tastes better this way. Yurik cooked another pot of bark. Is this guy addicted to bark? Takes a lot of wood to burn every night. After chopping wood, we eat dinner. A pot of bark and a fish tonight. The fish is cooked beautifully. Yurik prayed it would be all right. After all, this fish has too many leeches. The food looks pretty good. Klaus is having dinner too. He also has fish to eat. Klaus should be the most comfortable right now. Time came to day 13. Yurik saw a reindeer drinking this morning. I don't understand. What's he waiting for? Grab a bough and go hunting. Klaus came to the shore early in the morning to collect hay. This can be used to make a bed. He took the hay back to the shelter. This is so important for the winter. Sauron's fingers were blackened. This is what a dozen days without a shower looks like. He ate some bark and berries today. It's really hard to find food here. I cooked fish for breakfast every day. The fish caught yesterday is divided into 2 days. These contestants are so weird. There's no time to waste here without fishing. Soren is perfecting the shelter every day. But the food supply can't keep up. What should we do next? Well, we'll see what surprises the contestants have in store for next time. Look forward to an update in the next video. The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. She caught 2 fish. I was so happy right away. Take off all your clothes and come to me. Girl, you're the only contestant who doesn't treat me like an outsider. The time came to the 14th day. Today he plans to continue hunting. You wake up in the morning to hunt for your prey. So far Yurik and Meta are bow hunters. But Abumet has given up for very long at a time. We're going back to the shelter to get warm. He took out a mirror and scissors to trim his beard. What the hell is this high guy doing? I don't go fishing without food. I'm in the mood to trim my beard. Really don't feel sorry for these high people starving to death. Matt woke up this morning feeling very cold. Her glass of water had formed a layer of ice. The rope is also hard from the cold. It's kind of a weird look. I sleep so cold every night. Matt's planning to remodel the shelter. Build a fireplace in the shelter. Set up a fireplace in the shelter. Well, that's going to have to expand the shelter. She collected some wood. The wood is also peeled and treated. Drink a glass of water when you are hungry. Soren woke up very cold, too. The puddles are beginning to freeze, so he went back without picking up the net. Yurik is improving his shelter. He's going to build a door for the shelter. A door looks simple enough, but doing it well is very difficult. He worked on a wooden frame for an hour. Sauron lit a fire in the shelter to keep warm. He feels very hungry now. But you don't go fishing. He deserves to be hungry like a dog. He was whittling wood in the shelter. Are we going to make a spoon to eat the air? It turned out to be a shovel that looked like a spoon and was fishing on the shore. The fish are getting harder to catch these days. It's hard to catch fish in winter. Yurik was fishing on the shore. Finally, a fish bite. He managed to catch a fish today. He grilled the fish on a stick. He's the only one getting dinner tonight. When the doctor came by for a checkup, see his shelter. Ask if this is a permanent shelter or a temporary one. A shelter like Yurik's, anyway, wouldn't be able to withstand an Arctic winter. Anyway, This is definitely not a champion shelter. Matt woke up one morning because her fireplace isn't ready yet. The sudden heavy snow caught everyone by surprise. They are all gathering firewood. He thinks the pike will talk. This is the first snow on the Finnish Arctic Circle. This place will soon be covered with snow. The lake will freeze over. Competitors have to cross the ice to catch fish. All players must prepare for the winter. Sauron lit a fire in the shelter to keep warm. It was snowing heavily outside the shelter. The best place to stay warm right now is Sauron's moss hut. Usually lazy players. Takes a whole day to do anything. It's a little late for that. Meta's fireplace continues to be perfected today. It's an important device for heating the shelter. She's halfway outside this fireplace. Yurik is also building stone fireplaces. A fire in the shelter is the key to warmth. He was stocking up on firewood, and Meta's in the middle of it, and he's running out of ideas. Feel dizzy from all the work. He filled the shelter's logs with tree studs. This can be used to hang things. Soren hung the tools on it, so you don't lose it. Sauron's shelter is the best for heating. The fire reflects heat well against the rocks. Yurik had already eaten his lunch. It's the first time I've ever seen these foreign high men eat fish heads. He found it very delicious. Annie had the best luck fishing. She found a lot of bones outside. These are supposed to be wild deer bones. Today, and continues to collect wood to complete the shelter. Big tent. She slowly converted it into a cabin. The time came to day 16. Matt made some breakfast early in the morning. There was a large patch of reeds near her shelter. I'm eating these reed roots for breakfast today. She flung the fish against the rock with all her strength. By this time, the fish had been unhooked. Grandma wants to pick it up, but unfortunately, the fish finally escaped. Grandma was angry to keep saying rough words. That was a big fish I had a hard time catching. The fat of the mouth has escaped. Grandma really want to plunge into the water and drown. She sat on the shore and began to doubt life. Matt had a little luck today, but not much. But Klaus has no fish on his side. Again, no gain. On the way back, pick some birch bark. No meat to eat but bark. How much better is Yurik? He found that the fur he had brought had begun to shed. I wonder if this skin can be cooked and eaten. He crouched down to get emotional. I also thought of my daughter-in-law and children at home. Look at the state he's in. I don't think we're gonna be here much longer. Find something to do to pass the time. Klaus collected a lot of bark back to the shelter. He began to gather firewood for the winter. Nearby into the shelter, so you can burn it in the winter. Klaus' shelter is full of dry firewood. Now he was very much looking forward to winter. Klaus has a nice shelter right now, but I had less luck fishing. No fish to eat, but water to survive. Yurik's side is also starting to renovate the shelter. He wanted to make a bigger roof cover, build a frame out of sticks, then put the tarp on, then put it directly on the roof. Looks pretty good. Annie's side finally finished remodeling the shelter. She got a big row of logs. It looks pretty nice. The contestants are perfecting their shelters. Winter in the Arctic Circle is nothing to sneeze at. Soren's sorting out the nets over here. It's almost done. At this rate, Soren will soon be able to catch fish again. Klaus was collecting berries nearby. Berries are his only food at the moment. Sauron carried the organized desire to the shore. He's going to put a net on the rock. Sauron stood on the stone with his net and thought how to put the net deeper. When he throws out his net, it's getting messy again. He brought a stick. Put the net deep. Let's hope we catch a fish. Yurik caught a fish over here. Today we can eat fish again. So far, only Ulrich has been able to eat fish. The fish is delicious and tender. Everyone else has started eating fish. Annie stood on the bank with an axe and went crazy. She kept hitting the axe. Girls who live alone in the wilderness are more or less dumb. Abumet was holding a piece of wood. It looks a lot like a chicken leg. I really want to bite. Eat if you want. I'm a moral explainer who doesn't usually laugh. He's going hunting. Yurik really did it this time, getting up in the wee hours of winter to hunt. He wants to hunt deer and foxes. Look forward to catching a night pea. As the sky grows lighter, Yurik has been waiting, finally saw the prey appear. This is a little fox. Yurik changed his bow and arrow slowly. This might be his best chance to hunt. The fox is exploring ahead. Yurik made a sound and tried to attract it, just 35 meters away. He's waiting for the best chance to hunt. At last the fox left his hunting range. Put a little wood ash into the pan. Boil the water and drink it. The iron pan is full of bubbles. The raft he was building was leaking. That's why we need to remove it to check for leaks. Yurik was going to block the hole with a small cloth. He's got legs. And he brought glue. Why didn't you bring instant noodles? At noon, Yurik came out to dry with the wool pad. You'll sleep warmer this way. Digging shitholes and shelters with shovels. I don't know exactly what to do. Yurik's getting ready for a nap. This high guy has time not to go. Soren worked the hardest. This high guy's been working. I haven't seen him fish many times. Although his shelter is good enough, but the shelter is still being perfected, which means he's out of the game. Sauron put a lot of effort into building the shelter. Haven't been able to go fishing. Food can't keep up with the thought of starving the body. This sanctuary was his creation. He put a lot of time and effort into it. The shelter is very beautiful. But unfortunately, you haven't had much luck fishing, have you? I can't even take a boat ride anymore. There are 4 players left on the court. Klaus is going to make an oar. This wood is just right. Then take the fishing rod and go fishing. These high people are all the same. Yurik is also going to catch fish. He came to the shore. The raft has formed a layer of ice. He carried the shelf into the water, then put the net up. Put the raft in the water. Take a raft to the deep water. Yurik pulled the net further and further away. This time the net went out. It was a nice day for the net. The raft didn't leak either. Annie's side is continuing to remodel the shelter today. She's making the doorway smaller. Build another wooden wall in front of the door. The cabin has been beautifully perfected. Klaus finally gets the fish. I caught a small fish today. He gained instant confidence. There's enough fish today to keep him going for a few more days. Hungry for so many days. It's really exciting to catch a fish again. He took the fish back to the shelter. We're gonna have dinner tonight. Matt's been out hunting, but it never worked. I'm a fishing player. I've had several big meals. These hunting players. I can't take a shit 9 times a day. It's still snowing heavily. Matt's out there wandering around. If you can't go fishing, forward to an update in the next video. The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. The big man is weak at catching fish. It's 20 degrees below zero outside. He's in the shelter eating grilled fish. Other people starve 9 times a day to survive in the wilderness. And he's here on vacation. Time came to day 19. There is a strong wind today. Went outside to fortify the shelter. Secure the tent with rope. It rots in good weather. Now let's secure it with the rope. When you're done, go back to the shelter. It's freezing cold in here. The fireplace was built in the last 2 days. It doesn't feel like it's working right now. Now winter is just beginning. Meta covered the gaps in the shelter with snow. It's the first time I've seen a runner fill a gap with snow, and he smeared it on the fireplace. I doubt there's a brain in Meta's head. The snow outside the shelter has reached 5 centimeters thick. Klaus came out of the shelter to observe, saw the true face of Arctic Finland. He cut down some trees, press it against the shelter, and then tie it up with a rope. The little tent on Yurik's side is no better. He was very worried that the snow would leak in. The snow is already very thick outside. He lit a fire in the shelter. Put your stinky feet directly on the fire, and the shoes are baked to make them more comfortable. Annie's been holed up in the shelter, except for going out to shit and pee. A big hole appeared in her stocking. To pass the time mending holes with fishing line. All 4 players in the field are tent shelters. Sauron, the only one who built the moss shelter, was starved out of the race. All that's left is pecking at each other. Matt took the temperature out and took his temperature. The temperature is 39.3 degrees. The shelter is empty. Meta was worried about finding dry wood to keep warm. These are the sanitary items she brought with her. Matt used the tampon to light the fire, but it didn't work out very well. It went on for a while. I lit the fire. The fire in the fireplace burned very hard. Suddenly I feel a lot warmer. Klaus is the best he's ever been. His shelter has the most firewood, any grass. Yurik is on his way back. Saw a walk on the ground. He guessed it might be a wolf or a big fox. Yurik followed the trail, probably headed for the shore. Meta decided not to use the fireplace anymore. Because her shelter is not yet complete. It has begun to rain outside. The rain will go straight to the fire pit. This woman is really here to take her spot. The shelter leaked air everywhere. Matt is going to make a door. She cut down some branches, collected some moss, got a tree frame, and stuffed the moss into the tarp. It'll look so much better. The sound of heavy rain was heard in the shelter. You can feel the cold outside, but the heavy door gave her a sense of security. Meta can't even go out to pee now. Take it straight to the shelter. Klaus found a leak in the roof of the shelter. He wants a makeover. Get to the shore and collect the rope. The wind is very strong outside. Who knows, the next second fell down again. Grandma, if you're not flexible, go home and eat chicken hormones. Yurik was on the shore preparing the raft. This raft is his big treasure. It's what gets the net out of the water. When I was putting the raft together, suddenly his stomach started twitching. He knew it was caused by hunger. Yurik needed food badly. Klaus was torn at the shelter. The show gave them a new fishing net the other day, but he didn't want to use it so soon, so it's still mostly fishing. Before fish will feed him for several days. Matt was also making a wish with a fishing rod. This woman is sucking up the sun's energy like crazy. A few hours later, it was full of chicken. Used to enjoy being a rich woman at home. Now I'm crazy about a fish every day. I said it and then I got emotional. It's like I'm bullying her, and came to the bank to fetch water. I don't know what to do with your grandma's legs, and sat in the sun by the shelter. She thinks the shelter needs a makeover. All of a sudden, he starts and an animal skull for decoration. Hang the bones in front of the shelter. Klaus is here with his catch, admiring it. Finally, I decided to bake it. Today, though less. But looking at the fish on the fire, Yurik caught 9 fish today. The fish will last him a long time. Suddenly got rich and don't know what to do. If it were me, just turn them into smoked fish. Eat only one a day. Yurik cut a fish in half and grilled it. It's been a long time since I've had that feeling. Yurik was the happiest tonight. It was also his biggest dinner. The fishermen are already eating today. Players who don't fish can only eat air, and also uses stones to keep warm. There are still plenty of fish in Yurik. Next, he plans to spend more time hunting. Time came to day 21. Meta went to the shore and picked up some rocks, trying to build a second fireplace. Get an extra fire pit in the shelter. While there's time, she collected a lot of firewood nearby. Their grandma started a fire in the shelter. I feel a lot warmer right away. The fire burned very well in the shelter. Smoke streamed from the roof. The overall effect is quite good. I hope it doesn't get too cold tonight. Yurik's fingers were stiff. It's hard to start a fire. He chose some large logs, lay it flat on the floor, then dig a deep hole next to it. I think he wanted to make a giant fire pit to keep warm. He took last night's fish scraps out of the shelter, then continued digging. The larger the fire pit, the more charcoal is stored. The warmer it will be at night. Dump the excavated soil outside. This dirt will be useful for later. Soon he had dug a big hole and dig a notch in the bottom of the shelter. Let's air in. This project is making a mess. Yurik, bake one a day for lunch. Ulrich's the one who's most comfortable right now. There are fish to eat and water to drink. The shelter wasn't bad. This is the way it's going. The odds are very good that Yurik will be the champion. But there's something about wilderness solitude, usually not the best when a champion. Let's hope Yurik doesn't want to go home and fuck his wife. Klaus also started a fire in the shelter. But the difference between him and Ulrich, I was grilling fish, and he's boiling water. Meta dug some fire pits today. It's so cold every night. She burned some stones to keep warm. I hope I can sleep well tonight. Ulrich is the only one in the world who gets dinner. The grilled fish was delicious tonight. After you eat one, bake one. I remember when I first got here, he built the shelter himself and built a raft to catch fish. To have such a good night, all by your own efforts. He really likes being here now anyway. Time came to day 22. The weather is very bad today. Yurik heard it snowing outside. He didn't want to get up at all. I'm not hungry right now. He just wants to rot. The weather is so cold. I can stand it when you suck. I really fell for this old lady since the snow was falling harder and harder outside. Looks like it's another day with nothing to do for these high rollers. Yurik, the high guy hiding under the covers. He kept talking about going hunting. He looks stupid anyway. And Matt's takeout is on order. Klaus was very hungry. He went out fishing with a fishing rod in hand. So cold naive is desperately. Soon a fish was caught. That's really good luck. When Annie got up, I saw snow all around. She came out with a shovel to clean up, peed on a log. The yellow ones are very flirty. Yurik was very worried about the fox eating his fish. If that's the case, then Yurik will be back before liberation in a heartbeat. This is his family very much now. Smash it. This is. Do you have anything to do? Meta took out the family photos again. The woman has been starving, except for eating a few pots of grass. I haven't seen her fish many times. I mean, you can have them every season. Right now it's 2 men and 2 women fighting for the season championship. So far, both men have been able to eat fish. If a woman wins the championship, this is gonna make a lot of guys bleed. Soon the showboat was here again. I really fell for these fucking high guys. It's the players who do it. It's a pain in the ass for the show crew. Every player has a chance to drop out. Wilderness alone in the jungle is an unexpected result. The doctor's here again. Check on the players every 3 days. I really bought the show. Meta said he felt cold here. Haven't started checking yet. Matt said he didn't want to be here anymore. So she withdrew and went home. I'm speechless about this old lady. Came here and built a shelter. No animals have been hunted. I'm just here to get paid. There are 3 contestants left. Time came to day 23. I haven't eaten all the fish I've caught. Yurik is building a bed for the shelter. It'll be warmer to sleep at night. As far as it goes, Yurik still has the best chance. The bed has improved his life for now. Time came to day 24. Yurik heard an animal panting outside. He's going to check the fish in the fridge. If the fox did steal it, that would be a big loss. Klaus heard animal footsteps too. There's a good chance a brown bear was here. He looked around the neighborhood, found a gata like a doctor hurts. Klaus doesn't know how much longer he can stay here. Annie finally put the net in place. Yurik can't catch any fish today. I feel like I'm high. What surprises do the contestants have in store for us next? The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. The wilderness of the Arctic Circle is beginning to freeze. The contestants get food. Hours on the ice. Catch a net on a raft in icy water. The big fish are in the bag. Starving for dozens of days, it finally hit back. Can you be a champion by eating grilled fish every day in a shelter? Time came to day 25. Yurik's out hunting this morning. There's a squirrel right ahead. He really wanted to taste what it tasted like. Just when he wanted to hunt, spotted a prairie chicken nearby. It's about 100 meters away. A bow and arrow can't hit at that distance. Yurik tries to get closer to the prairie chicken, but it's too cold. He chose to stay warm in the shelter. This scene is beyond me. Aren't we going hunting? How do you get back to the shelter to get warm? Get warm and go outside the shelter. But watching Yurik doesn't have the urge to hunt. These reindeer are not allowed to be hunted. I'm speechless for this high guy. Sea squirrels don't hunt. They don't hunt when they see pheasants. Seeing reindeer can't hunt. So you brought this bow and arrow to shoot the sun, and came to the shore to draw in her net. A layer of ice was found to have formed on the water. A straight hard pull might break the net. Yesterday, she was able to take the raft and release the nets. Today the water is frozen. You can imagine how quickly the temperature drops. The ice is slowly moving outward. She'll be pulling in the net soon. Klaus warms up a fire outside the shelter. He gets his food by fishing. As long as the water isn't frozen, it's mostly fishing. Stood there for hours. I didn't catch any fish today. He's very hungry anyway. Time came to day 26, and had heard footsteps early in the shelter. She doesn't know what it is. Wait until it's quiet before you go out and observe. Hope it's not a bear. The weather is fine today, and went out on a raft to bring in the net. The nets are in the deep, but I didn't get anything today, and cold to death. Teach and don't blame me for making too much fun, because these contestants are so bad. No skills at all. What else can I say about them but ridicule? Klaus came to the shore to observe. He found a patch of water in the distance that was frozen. Never been ice fishing before. He wanted to try it. Yurik started planning ice fishing, too. If you're lucky, you'll eat good food. Annie's got 2 fish here. She's the only one who gets meat now. Annie's the one who's doing the best so far. If you stick with it, Annie could very well be this season's solo wild winner. Only 1 fish today. Any excess fish is refrigerated directly on the snow. Time came to day 27. Klaus and Yurik are the only ones preparing for ice fishing. I couldn't tell where the 2 of them came from. It looks very similar. They observe the thickness of the ice before ice fishing. It's about 8 centimeters thick. There's no problem with the whole person standing up and jumping. Klaus lit a fire on the shore. Convenient and timely heating. And Yurik builds a fire on the ice. I don't know if this guy has any sense of safety. There are fish you don't go fishing. You don't hunt when there's a hunt. Isn't building a fire on the ice a death wish? On the side of a fire, he was fishing. Klaus got down on the ice and started fishing. It looks very shallow from the opening. You can see if there's any fish. Job done. Klaus suddenly missed his father. The big man wanted to cry again. Annie has been tidying up fishing nets all day. She caught 2 fish yesterday. So don't worry about not eating at all. It's very cold outside. We won't be long before we head back to the shelter for warmth. This is a real high. I can't hunt. I'd stay in the shelter and drink water every day. Wouldn't it be nice to be a water champion like Juan? Time came to day 28. The show crew showed up again. I really fell for these high guys. Don't you have enough players for the show? I really doubt that any of these contestants work for the show. The staff asked the players if they felt alone. Yurik back. Sometimes I miss my family, but I feel like I can handle it. Afraid of being told to leave by the show. And asked Klaus if he slept warm. Klaus said he'd wrap his feet at night. There's a stove in the shelter. It's a little hot to sleep at night. And asked if she was lonely. Annie said it was nice to get used to being alone. I don't understand what the show crew is doing here. If it hurts the player, just give them $100,000 and get out. Come here and give me a hug. Look at his feet. Ask someone if they're lonely. One show has more appearances than players. Klaus drank the water and went fishing again with a fishing rod. This high guy had a good early life. Catch 2 fish now and then. Yurik's working on the net here. If you can't catch a fish, you are ready to try to catch a fish with a net. He came to the top of the hill. I can't believe they're building a fire in here. What the hell is this high guy up to? He built a bonfire on the rocks. Said it was for my father. Wouldn't it be better to win the championship and burn tens of billions to your father? Because I miss my father. Klaus began to cry again. Oh my God. He brought ashes to scatter. I really don't know how to explain this part for a moment. And Yurik continues to tidy up his nets today. The fishing net has been screwed up. Could have just set it on fire. I don't think I can do this without a little patience. He put it all together in no time. I'm surprised at the speed. No sooner had she tidied it up than she burst into tears. He suddenly missed his son very much at home. I was speechless so suddenly. Annie was lying here on the ice, smiling at me. There was no movement on the fishing rod. This girl's always been in a good mood. Suddenly, there was a movement under the water. Is this about to serve the fish? And picked up her fishing rod and hurried back to the shore. Went out with a load of stuff on his back, just to make a fire. I just don't understand this high guy. Yurek's pulling in the nets. I saw the fish under the net. Today I caught a pike weighing more than 10 pounds. Harvest more than one thing. He caught the fish and banged it on the head. Yurek had a very fruitful day. You get 5 or 6 days of food at once. He pulled the raft back to shore. All of a sudden, I got hit by this high guy. Annie also returned to the shelter. You got nothing today. But Yurek is different. He celebrated at the shelter. I'd like to confiscate his fish. Make him cry like a dog. Time came to day 30. Klaus got up very early today. He decided to build a raft. Yurek's pulling in the nets again, and it was also a productive day. I can't believe this high guy just struck back. We got a lot of fish today. To be the best of them all, I didn't finish yesterday's fish. There's another pile today. I can't finish. I can't finish. Night. Annie was rummaging for frozen fish to eat. Who knows, I can't find it. Sure enough, it was eaten by an animal. Came to day 31. Klaus moved the raft to shore in the morning. The launch test is today. The raft can float in the water. He still needs to collect more. Is this about moving to the water? A raft goes down in a heartbeat. Clearly this thing is a failure. He even tried to slide the ORS. Hey, don't struggle. Take it back and remake it. Yurek here is singing and packing. This high guy's got a lot to eat and drink right now. Now all he has to do is sing, because singing can adjust the mood. The worst fear is that he'll eat and miss his family. I thought singing would lift my mood. Who knows too hard? Peak happiness is followed by depression. The high man suddenly began to cry again. He misses his children very much. I told you, these high people just can't get enough to eat. Klaus carried the raft ashore, remodeled it. We're in the water again, but it has the same effect. It's very unsafe. Seeing a raft like this, he expressed his anger. Sit in the shelter and sulk. Time came to day 32. Klaus gets up first in the morning. He's the one who doesn't eat every day. The weather is very cold today. It should be 10 degrees below zero. There's ice in Annie's tent. There was a lot of ice on the lake last night. Most of the shore is frozen over. If we can get to rain conditions now, it must be a heavy snow. The time when he and his father cut wood. This high guy's full and he misses his family all the time. Klaus collected a lot of firewood. The shelter began to fill up and sat on the bank in the sun. For a moment she doubted herself. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's a scary thought. Yurek is taking a bath with a pot of hot water. No showers for dozens of days. Taking a bath is wiping your body. The smell won't kill a few young women. Klaus came to the shore to pull in his net. He actually caught another big fish. While he was cleaning out his insides, remodeled door. You're not afraid of the wind at night, and got up and wondered how many people were still there. She's getting a little bored anyway. There's still a lot of ice on the water, and tried to pull up the net now and was very unlucky. I haven't caught any fish lately. Her goal is to break into the top 3, but not confident. Time came to day 34. Klaus was one of the first. I'm going out to take a shit. Today's nets didn't yield. When you get back to the shelter, remove any fish heads you didn't eat before. He's going to try to cook these fish heads. Now I can finally put it to use. When the fish head is boiling, he took a walk around the neighborhood to ease his mood. Yurek wakes up in the morning and misses his family in front of the camera. That's what you really want. Go back. Give Annie hundreds of thousands of dollars. Annie might be happy to take off her clothes and run around here for a few laps. He plans to go ice fishing today. He set off with a load of stuff on his back, but there's still a lot of crushed ice. The raft is very difficult to navigate, and broke the ice with a stick. Slowly get out of the water. She pulled up base after base. Klaus has been trying his hand at fishing. Yurek is ice fishing too. Annie's the only one pulling in the nets. It's cold and messy to pull in the net, but reaping the rewards is the best. Fishing is usually a waste of time, and felt frozen when she finished the net. She lit a fire on the shore. I went through 2 packs of tissues with those long legs. I just want to get down there and put sunscreen on Annie. All of a sudden all the players look like idiots, and sat on the floor talking to herself. Yurek also knelt on the ice for several hours. He couldn't stop talking. We're gonna have some more surprises coming up. Look forward to an update in the next video. The latest season of Living Alone in the Wild begins. The big guy survives in the Arctic Circle at minus 20 degrees in the snow. Ice fishing is a soft catch. If we're lucky, we catch 2 ducks. The contestants successfully ate delicious roast duck. I'm tired of grilled fish every day. Would you like to participate in such a wilderness survival? Time came to day 36. Yurek woke up in the morning to find his surroundings covered with snow. The water has begun to freeze. It was something that worried him very much. When the water freezes, he can't go out on a raft and cast nets. He's here with a stick to break up the ice. The raft is also getting a lot of ice. Before the lake freezes over, he was going to cast his net for the last time. Yurik is the most active at the moment. He pulled up yesterday's fishing net. There are some gains. When Klaus got up, he decided to explore the opposite hill, because that's the only way to waste more time. Exploring the outdoors keeps him fresh. Not crying 3 times a day in the shelter, bear hunger, but crying under the covers can lead to a meltdown. He walked around the hill. What a waste of time. That's the worst wild solo player I've ever seen, and came to the shore and knocked on the ice. She had to clear a spot to get water. Boiled a pot of hot water to thaw the fish head awful. It's mainly used to keep birds. This girl's been lying in the back wondering what she's doing. Every day in addition to collecting wood. What kind of work have you done? Chronic hunger caused her to lose strength. Cutting down a piece of wood is tiring. Time came to day 37. Yurik saw a deer this morning. The deer was lying on its stomach near the shelter. Isn't he a hunter? How do you see deer not hunting? I brought a bow and arrow instead of hunting its instant noodles. The shore is beginning to freeze. He tested the thickness with his foot. I didn't realize I got my feet wet. I really don't think much of this guy. Although he now has the most fish, there is no shortage of food and drink. Yurik says he wants to hunt. The deer we just saw didn't say anything about hunting, except he can shoot a bow and arrow through the air. You really don't know how to knit. I saw prairie chickens not hunting earlier. Saw a squirrel and didn't hunt. I saw a deer not hunting today. You're not going to embarrass a hunter here with a bow and arrow. Klaus woke up this morning feeling sick. His toes are frostbitten. Walking is a problem. He called the doctor to examine him. Klaus was very worried that the doctor would send him off. Food and fun. Call the doctor every once in a while. After receiving the news, a crowd of people came over. They checked the soles of Klaus' feet. Preliminary results suggest tendon inflammation. The doctor and the show crew explain the situation. There's a crowd for every foot. The final proposal is, give him a bag of ibuprofen. If we don't get food in the next few days, he's probably going to be forced out of the game. Klaus is on the verge of dropping out and came to the shore again in the morning. The puddle I made yesterday is frozen again. When you hit the ice, a big crack appeared. This girl's been eating soy sauce all day. Yurik cut off the fish. Eat half a piece of fish a day. Ulrich can still eat fish now. This is the way it's going. The odds are very good that Yurik will be the champion. Klaus is desperate to stay. He decided to collect firewood. The temperature will drop to 15 degrees below zero tonight. While collecting wood, I accidentally twisted my foot again. Bad luck opening the fucking door and getting home. Time came to day 38. Klaus got up early. Found that it snowed again last night. Klaus' foot is still hurting. He was wary of being dropped. Light a fire and go crazy here. Pray for a speedy recovery. Sitting here with a glass of water dreaming. His own children appear behind him, trying to win a championship in your condition. Unless the show goes out of business. The ice is all over Yurik. It looks really cold. The snow on the lake is very thick. Yurik kept thinking about catching fish. He's the only one who's still doing something. The raft caught a lot of fish for him. He dismantled the raft. Get the tarp out and use it. I'm just gonna stand here and miss my family. I wonder if Lao Wang has taken good care of his wife. I feel sad and want to cry right now. Hey, don't cry. Just you and Klaus crying 9 times a day. Look at her, Annie. A girl has never cried. I took the tarp back after I cried, and has been hiding in the shelter since she got up. This girl ever since she set up the shelter. There's hardly any activity. I haven't had a bath since winter, and now she's a slob. Annie came to the shore. Test the ice with the rock. I hit a few rocks in a row and I'm fine. Looks like we're ready for ice fishing. But then she was back in the shelter. He was playing with a rock. Not so with Klaus. I can't believe he's not frozen yet. Is this high guy in a different world? He tied the wood with a rope. I want to fish here. The ice shadows on the shore harbor all kinds of dangers. You could actually die here if you're not careful. It took a lot of effort to pull the rope across the bank. It should be much better to catch fish this way. He succeeded in setting the net. There's a fire outside Yurik's shelter. He was going to put the tarp over the fire to keep out the rain. I don't understand this scene. What's the fire doing covering it outside the shelter? If you have to camp out in front of the shelter, I got nothing to say. Okay, play all day. It was getting dark before I remembered to cut the wood. Time came to day 39. Yurik was shooting through the air again this morning with a bow and arrow. Take the bow and arrow out for a spin every day. Pretending to hunt hard. Saw animal footprints on the ground. He cooked some fish soup yesterday and fell on the wood on the shore. Sure enough, the foxes are here today. Yurik followed the trail. The drag of the fox's tail was evident in the snow, and I peed in here. After a long search, no fox was seen. I knew this high guy wasn't out hunting. In the evening, pour a little fish soup on the wood. A lot of time went by. 2 days. The water hasn't frozen on Klaus' side yet. The net he set up 2 days ago is still there. I also saw 2 ducks on the water. When he went over to check the nets, found a duck struggling. Klaus quickly pulled the net, but the rope is frozen in the ice. He picked up his stick and cracked the ice. Slowly pull the net back. Sure enough, they caught 2 ducks. Klaus killed the duck with his mouth. Today's harvest is bigger than 10 fish. Is this high guy gonna make a comeback with these 2 ducks? Fish not caught, but I got 2 wild ducks. That's a lot of luck. These 2 ducks are quite big, hungry for so many days. Send 2 fat ducks. That would be a good meal. Klaus immediately lit a fire. 2 ducks are hanging in front of the shelter, waiting to be slaughtered. Annie ate the last base yesterday. Now she has no food. If you want to eat fish again, that can only be done by ice fishing. And try to walk out slowly. Use a drill to drill a hole in the ice. Even though it's only 5 centimeters. But in Finland, it's already thick enough for ice fishing. And decided to try ice fishing for food. She took a small pole and prepared to go fishing. It's very close to the shore. There's not a meter of water. Looks like a waste of time. Klaus is already handling the ducks. I'm gonna have a big meal today. After Klaus whacks the duck, there's a lot of meat left. A duck weighs about 2 pounds. Enough for him to fight Yurik. Chop the duck with an axe. Duck head and duck wingtips do not. The rest of the offal is edible. The ducks are cleaned by the lake. Even if it's snowing now, Klaus is going to have these ducks. Yurik is having lunch. Eat only half a grilled fish a day. At least a dozen days. Now Yurik has plenty to eat and drink. If you don't get crazy and miss your family, you might win the championship. Yurik finished eating and went out again with his bow and arrow. Annie's the one who's hurting the most right now. Lie on the ice for hours. No fish were caught. Finally, she gave up ice fishing. On the shore, I saw a large wet area nearby. People who don't know would think she peed. Klaus is the best guy today. He set up a large barbecue grill. I've always heard that Beijing roast duck is delicious. So he also tried to make roast duck to eat. It's nice to have roast duck. It would be bad if the duck got burnt. Klaus looked at the carbonized roast duck before him. I still smell good after I hang up the carbon ash. This meal today. It's the best, most delicious meal he's had since he's been here. This duck is very big. Klaus will eat it all in one meal. Yurik eats grilled fish every day. He sorted out some fish oil. It looks fat and appetizing. Someone else is already eating. Annie is still hungry. Klaus is already full. That leaves 1 duck rack. If you don't have to stew, you can give Annie a taste. The time came to day 42. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Yurik woke up cold. He got up and made a fire to warm himself. But that's not enough. Have started doing exercise to keep warm. You can imagine how cold it is at night in the Arctic Circle. When Klaus got up, fire up your ass. Yurik's got a roasted ass too. Maybe it's the cold weather. It froze the valve. He came to the shore to start ice fishing. But then the show crew showed up again. What the hell are they doing? The contestants were given weight records. It means they're going to face even greater risks. And that Yurik is thin now. Reluctantly, he could go on. It also prompted Klaus to eat more. And he left. I don't know what the hell they're doing, you know? Yurik was frightened and quickly ate the fish. I was afraid I'd be forced to withdraw because of my weight. Annie's starting to doubt life. It's so cold now. I can't believe someone's still holding on. The temperature is colder tonight than last night. Ice crystals are growing all over the shelter. Time came to day 43. Annie spent the morning on the ice fishing. It's a pity it was another day without a harvest. All this girl does is fish. Basically no other hunting skills. So I had to starve for as long as I could. Time came to day 44. Klaus wakes up in the morning to make fun of it. There's a rat in his shelter. This is a mouse pooping in a cup. Yurik woke up feeling bad. I haven't been sleeping well lately. Now he's always wondering when he can go home. All the players began to have doubts. Because I've been here too long. Everyone was desperate to get home. But there's something holding on. The show crew showed up again. What are these high people up to? More appearances than players. Walking around to see the players. I always felt like the show was hiding something from everyone. You know? It's a weird show this season anyway. It turns out Annie's pulling out of the competition. He came here and caught a lot of fish. Another shelter was built. Built a raft to go fishing. It'll last 44 days. She felt satisfied. All I'm looking forward to is going home and having sex. This girl's doing great up front, but the back keeps lying flat. It's not that interesting, is it? Never caught a fish. Instead of starving here, might as well go home and eat fried chicken with hormones. After Annie's withdrawal, we're left with Klaus and Yurik. Klaus stood on the rock and went crazy. Looks like he had a lot of that roast duck yesterday. Yurik cuts wood every day to keep warm. Time came to day 45. Klaus and Yurik are the only 2 left. Yurik has plenty of fish left. Klaus also has a duck. As long as they keep getting food, then you might be able to hang in there and win. Yurik pulled in the net on the ice, and he caught a fish. That's really good luck. The odds are very good that Yurik will be the champion. He continued to drag the net. Another fish is pulled up. This magnificent wealth. Yurik continued to drag the net. Fish were hauled up one by one. 3 fish were harvested today. Yurik couldn't be happier. These fish will keep him going for another week. Klaus wants to try ice fishing too, but the ice on his side is very thin. Doesn't look like it's for ice fishing. Finally chose to give up. Time came to day 46. Klaus eats leftover duck innards at the shelter, and Yurik eats grilled fish in the shelter. That's still half a fish a day, even though everyone still eats meat. But the state is different. Time came to day 47. It's a different scene every day. The snow here is getting thicker day by day. It looked white all around. The weather is very calm today. No wind, no sun. It was eerily quiet. Yurik lit a fire outside to keep warm. Saw a squirrel in the tree. Pick up a bow and arrow and go hunting. The squirrel was up there waiting for him. Yurik picks up the bow and shoots. Sure enough, I shot the squirrel, but the squirrel is still hanging in the tree. It had to struggle to fall off. Dangly more than 40 days. I made my first hunt today. 3 fish were harvested yesterday. I hunted squirrels again today. The championship has been clear this season, unless there's a twist on the show. Otherwise, it couldn't have been Klaus. This season, I'm sure of it. Either Yurik is the champion, either Klaus is the champion. If you think I'm right, eating grilled fish for dozens of days. I can finally have a roast today. Yurik is handling squirrel meat with great care. Not a lot of meat though, but I'm sure it'll be a good meal. Klaus went fishing on the ice, but it didn't work. When Yurik's done with the squirrel, skewer the meat on a stick. The barbecue I've been looking forward to for decades. Today it finally happens. Although always eat meat, but he's still as thin as a monkey. He was also very worried about being dismissed because of his weight. Winter darkens very quickly in the Arctic Circle. Klaus didn't get anything done today. Yurik began to enjoy his dinner. The squirrel is beautifully roasted. I can't help but scream when I eat it. It looks really good. The squirrel is not very big, but it's enough to get him hooked once. The time came to the 48th day. Klaus went out in the morning with his backpack. I don't know what he's going to do. Haven't seen the sun for days. What the hell is this high guy doing? Sitting outside looking at the view means several things. Are you going camping with your stuff? Walking around without a meal? Accidentally throw yourself on the street? Bad luck for this high guy. Yurik also went out with a bow and arrow. I can't walk when I hit the sun. Decided to sunbathe here. As soon as I sit down, I miss my family. Time came to day 49. The show crew showed up again. The weird show has a bunch of weird contestants. Check on the players every 3 days. This has never been done before. The show crew is so abnormal. I guess there's something fishy going on. Show crew to tell them. Says they've lost 15% of their body weight. Plus it's getting colder now. Very worried about their safety. Thought it was dangerous for them to walk up and down the snow every day. Finally, the contestant was directly persuaded to quit. Yurik heard being told to leave. Just hold your head and cry. Besides him, Klaus was also asked to resign. Oh my god. What the hell is this show up to? It's the finals. No winner this season. Klaus said it was very strange. Why is that? He could not accept the result. Yurik also said it was strange. He couldn't understand why the show was doing this. To dismiss both players at the same time. So who's the real key? The show crew to comfort them. We also brought in their families. It means the show is broke this time, but still let them enjoy the end of the championship. I told you it was a freak show. It was being broke that told them not to hang on. I'll leave aside the bonus for now, but this is an unprecedented end. The show promised them. There's no prize money, but it gives them a name. It's a double winner of the Danish version of the 8th season. At last, Yurik and Klaus meet. It seems they were quite happy with the result. Well, I'm kind of confused anyway. That's the end of the season. This is ridiculous.